Breakups are never easy, even when they're for the best. I'd been trying to piece myself together after ending things with my boyfriend of 3 years. It wasn't dramatic or messy. We'd just grown apart. Still, some days felt unbearable, with memories of him around every corner. A few nights ago, I decided to step out of my comfort zone and go out alone. It wasn't something I usually did, but I couldn't stand another evening cooped up in my apartment, lost in my thoughts. I found myself at a quiet bar we used to visit, the kind with sticky floors, dim lighting, and a jukebox that hadn't been updated since the 90s. The place was almost empty, save for a few older patrons nursing their drinks. I ordered a cocktail and sat by myself, feeling a mix of nerves and nostalgia. After a while, I wandered to the pool table, idly chalking a cue. I didn't plan to play, just holding it brought back memories of the games we used to play together. Then a guy walked up. He was about my age, friendly enough, and asked if I wanted to play. I agreed. He wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible either. We played a few rounds, chatting as we went. He bought me a drink, and for a moment I let myself relax. But something about him felt off. His jokes fell flat, and his attempts at small talk felt forced. I brushed it off, chalking it up to nerves or awkwardness. After the third game, he leaned in closer, smiling in a way that made my stomach twist. "Want to come back to my place?" I froze, then politely declined, trying to keep it light. But his face darkened, his demeanor shifting entirely. His smile vanished, replaced by something cold and unsettling. "Really?" he said, his voice sharp. "After I bought you drinks?" Before I could respond, he grabbed my wrist, his grip tight. My heart raced as he muttered something under his breath. I yanked my hand away, but not before he reached for my purse. Just as panic started to set in, two men at the bar noticed the commotion. One of them stood up, his voice firm. "Let her go." The guy scowled but released me, throwing my purse onto the table before storming out. I thanked the men, shaking as I quickly called an Uber. The ride home was quiet, and I felt relief start to wash over me. As I got out of the car and walked to my door, I pulled out my phone to check the time. That's when I saw it, a notification that made my blood run cold. "AirTag detected near you." My hands trembled as I rummaged through my purse, searching frantically until my fingers brushed against the cold, unfamiliar device. He'd slipped it in. My chest tightened, fear crawling up my spine. He knew where I was. Without hesitation, I turned and walked away from my house, my heart pounding as I dialed 911. My quiet night out had turned into something out of a nightmare, and I wasn't sure when I'd feel safe again.